Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Natalie. I am playing with Tracey Hayes' set called Blue. We're going to make a little scene because I haven't done that for a little while, so let's do that. I have a little border here that is going to be my fence, and I have there's a lot of masking involved in this. I like my masking. I don't do it very often, but I do enjoy it. I get very excited when I unveil everything. So the thing with masking and creating a little scene, you have to think about what is in the front and you stamp that first. So my fence is going to be in front. Then I have a little flower, and then I'm going to mask off my leaf because we're going to do another little flower after I surgically remove a little bit of the supporting polymer. So I'm not cutting actually into the image. This is going to allow me just to wiggle my stem around because it had a very strong curve and I didn't want that. So I'm making sure my stem sort of falls just behind the leaf. This is going to allow us to do the next step and extend. Now you could draw, obviously you could draw, but the stamp was out, so let's do that. So I've turned my stamp around, cleaned him all off really well, turned him around, and I'm looking at the very tip of my stem and trying to line him up relatively because it's behind the leaf, it's no big deal. And then holding the stem, we straighten out the little flower, and then we have joined our little flower up to promote a longer stem. That's all there is to it. As I said, you could draw, but you know, why not? I rub my hands over just to remove a little bit of the leftover residue from manufacturing, so it becomes a very cloudy sort of look, not dull. This one I didn't quite line up as well, but you know, it's okay, doesn't matter. And then one more little leaf on the other side. I didn't have too much of a problem with sort of lining him up. I got him done the first time around, but the benefit of having a very sketchy sort of style stamp is the fact that it allows for oopses. I have stamped that down in tuxedo black, Memento tuxedo black. And this one is going to be in the Versa Fine Black Onyx. This is going to allow me to get a very fine little print. And basically I'm sort of not slamming, not full pelt slamming, but sort of slamming my top of my Misty down and not pressing on it. And that's going to give me a nice crisp image, but allowing myself not to go too heavy handed because I do. I think I learned that from a friend of mine many years ago. I have YG67, YG17 and YG03 for all my greenery. I'm going to go across that 2 times just to give a nicer, darker image. You might be able to hear my son coughing. He's not sick, he's just a cougher like his father. That's all. So we're going through that. Life updates. There is no life updates. Yes. I did a video this morning that's posting in September, and I said, guess what? I've moved. But this is going to be posted tomorrow, so guess what? I've moved. I am all moved in. I still have little bits and pieces to do. Like my stamps are in their little containers, but I have to organize those babies and my dies and things like that. You know what I mean? Like it's fine tuning. Because I sold quite a few bits of my furniture because they weren't going to fit in this. I had to go more of a different style. Unfortunately, I don't like buying furniture when I had furniture, but we have actually used that furniture elsewhere in the house, so I will do a room tour, but I just want to finish off putting things away, and everything is away as I said, but just organising a little bit to where I'm happy. There's always organising going on, but you know what I mean. Anywho, we've got this little flower. We've got 27, 24, 22 and 20. Same as with the bigger flower, I'm sort of going where anything is sitting on top of something else, it's going to be darker. So the petals, the one in the front there, I am sort of making darker in the middle, but the two at the back, they are going to make having it dark around the edges of that center petal. It's going to make it pop out a little bit more. With the bigger flower, the one in the back is going to be darker, and the one on the left has, to give it a more of a rounded look, just flicking across the table, I'm leaving it dark on the left hand side. We have BV04, BV02 and BV01 for this little flower. His center is going to be a slightly different YR combination than we had before. We've got YR27 and also YR23 with a little bit of stippling effect. So yeah, there will be a room tour. I like my little room. It is still open, but if I close my husband behind a door, you can't hear him as much. So that was the aim of the game. I have BG49, BG13 and BG11 for my little border, and I'm just trying to make him dark down the base, going lighter up the top. I'm also going to use him on the ground, just underneath my fence, because I felt like it, basically. So yeah, there's little bits and pieces still. All my stuff is put away, I will say that. My husband's stuff is not so much, but I think I mentioned that in my September video, forgetting that it was September. But yeah, men, I don't know, is it just a generalization? It is a generalization, but my man likes to do things on the weekends rather than just getting it done, and that's fine. I love him. He's all good. He's a good guy. Anywho, this is cloudy grey cardstock by Paper Rose. It is really lovely and thick, like really thick. I'm going to mount that up with a bit of foam tape, and that's going to be my card. I've used a little bit of white gel because of how the flowers are drawn. They're really fun and whimsical, so I've done a little bit of white gel around the edges here and there. I will leave a link down below to my blog, and you get more details and a list of all the colours. I hope you are well, and I will hopefully talk to you very soon. Bye bye.